while, but now we are good. So welcome. So great to see all of you here. Thanks for bearing with me. I was saying, as Robert is going to refill his cup, I could also use a caffeine hit right now. And clearly, my audio settings agreed. So thank you for your patience, guys. Yes, Darren is pointing out, yes, facial expressions when we realize our mistake. Yes, well, I am back. Okay, so let's check out some of the artwork that you all have been making in the schoolyard. You've been really busy during our drawing parties and hanging out. So I'm going to share some of that, and then we're going to draw together for a few minutes. So let's get going. So I wanted to share some art that you all have been making during our drawing parties. I loved the mugshot session that you guys did with Danny. This was a drawing by David, and I really think he caught the kind of creepy character of the eyes in this mugshot. A lot of you also drew selfies. Actually, this was a selfie that Darren drew that I just loved. Hey, Laura is saying hello, and Dina. But I loved Darren's selfie. It was really kind of inky and graphic, and I thought it turned out really great. So Darren, thanks for sharing your selfie with us. Midori actually did a really sweet project where she was purging and cleaning out some things, which I think we're all doing right now in quarantine, and she kind of did a proper send-off for a sweater that was really meaningful to her. So she drew the object and then wrote a little story about it before getting rid of it. And passing it along to someone else that might be able to use it. And I just loved that she was kind of documenting her belongings like this before giving them away or donating them to a good cause, which is great. We've got Dina checking in as well, Cynthia, Corinne, Celeste in California. It's great. Excellent to see all of you here. And while a lot of us are stuck at home, some students are drawing travel memories and drawing places that they really enjoy, kind of like a little escape. So Tana did this drawing of some recent travels, and I just loved kind of the mood of it and the color that she achieved with watercolor, and it looks really beautiful. And it looks like we've got Missy checking in from Pittsburgh and Magdalena from Geneva, which is really cool. Another student, Stephanie, was actually working on a homework assignment in one of our courses, an older course that's been retired, but she's been revisiting it. She actually did this assignment where she created an illustration for some characters in the Wind-Up Bird Chronicle, which is a really good book, a really interesting book. But she actually illustrated a character from that book, and I just loved kind of the mood of this drawing, and also the way that she framed it and used stamps. So I thought that was really cool. Jessie also did this really beautiful kind of landscape of this house that she passes on her walk. So a lot of us are getting out and walking the dog, going on walks ourselves, just to kind of unwind and calm down and get away from screens. So I loved this drawing that Jessie did of a really beautiful kind of lakeside scene near where she lives, which is really cool. And it looks like we've got Christine is also checking in. Lisa's in New Jersey. Some East Coasters, and it's snowing in Michigan right now. Whew. I was hoping for spring, but I know that snow is still possible for some of us. And another student's art that I want to share, I want to congratulate Russ, who has been drawing famous birthdays every day for a year. So on the 13th of April, so this week, he hit 1 year of drawing birthdays every day. So every day Russ draws some portraits of people that are celebrating birthdays on that day. And I just love that he's been doing this for a whole year, every single day, and posting them and sharing them with us. And lo and behold, we get to meet some pretty interesting characters that have birthdays on, any given day of the year. So Russ, thank you for sharing that bit of knowledge with us, along with keeping your creative habit going strong. And one other piece of art that I want to share, Chris Noonan actually shared this little piece of advice for how to let go of things, metaphorically and literally, but here's a little diagram that he created for just kind of talking to us about how to let go and how to achieve peace of mind. And I think for me personally, I really just loved this little graphic. It's a nice little meditative piece, and it's just helpful to think about some things that maybe we're holding on to that aren't serving us, and we just need to let them go. For me personally, I don't like the uncertainty of all of this pandemic stuff and not knowing when the end is. The end is not in sight. And so I just need a reminder sometimes to just get those thoughts out of my head and let go of them, because they're not helping me and they're not helping anyone around me. So Chris, thank you for that little reminder with this little symbolic drawing. I really liked it a lot. So now, for this time of the broadcast, now that you're all here and hopefully have your sketchbooks and maybe a cup of coffee in hand, we're going to draw together. So I have my trusty dusty timer, and today, just because this has been a relevant topic in our household, I want you to draw what your one quarantine essential item is. So this can be like a physical thing, like an object that you just can't live without. It can also be a snack or a beverage that you are keeping fully stocked. So for me, my quarantine essential, this is so silly, is popcorn. So I've been eating a lot of popcorn. So this is going to be my object to draw today. But I want you to grab something, or you can draw it from memory. And I love JJ saying that she doesn't give those negative thoughts free rent. I love that idea, not letting them take up precious space. But anyway, for today's drawing, I'm going to set our timer for 4 minutes this time, because 3 minutes always just feels so fast. I'm sure 1 whole minute might make a difference. But I want you to grab something or think of something that is your one quarantine essential. So what is the one thing that you just keep stocking up on at the grocery store when you occasionally go, or one object that you find yourself coming back to every day? Maybe it's a sketchbook, or maybe it's a fidget cube, or something at your desk or at your kitchen table. But for me, I'm going to go the snack route, and my quarantine essential is popcorn. So I have my sketchbook, and I have a freshly loaded up Lamy Safari, refilled with the broad nib, and I'm going to draw this big bag of popcorn as my quarantine essential. And I'm going to set the timer, and I'm hoping you have your sketchbooks open or something to draw on. It could just be a post-it note if that's what you have handy. And I'm going to press start on our timer. There we go. And we're going to draw. So I'm just going to do this as a contour line drawing. You can do whatever you feel like doing. And honestly, for me, I've been just snacking a lot. And I know some of you who might also be at home having better access to the fridge or to the snack cupboard might be in the same boat. I know Kosha mentioned that she often finds herself going to the refrigerator and just opening it and looking in as if she's trying to find some answers or some clarity there. And while you might not find clarity in your fridge, you might find it by drawing whatever you're looking for. So for me, I'm going to draw this popcorn bag. And this popcorn, it's kind of funny. My friend, I was just kind of having a dud of a day recently, and I was talking to my friend on FaceTime, and she said, check your porch. And she sent me an Amazon delivery of just some grocery items, like snacks, healthy snacks, nothing too dangerous. But she did include chocolate. But she included this popcorn, and I had never had it before. And it's made with coconut oil, and it's really tasty. It just has a nice coconutty flavor. And so I became hooked. And then I went to the grocery and saw it and was like, I have to stock up on this because it goes by very quickly. So that is definitely my kind of quarantine essential item. But I'll be curious what everyone else has as their kind of essential thing that they can't live without. You can feel free to take a pause and draw that in the comments, share that in the comments if you have an essential item. I know we had our sketchbook happy hour yesterday on Zoom, and somebody was drawing chocolate as, something that was popular in her household at the time, some Easter candy, which I can definitely relate to, because we definitely bought some half-off Easter candy after the holiday. But I hope that you are able to just take a few moments. This is actually my first drawing of the day. And just get your pen out or pencil and do some drawing with us. Danny has a drawing party coming up at 12 Eastern, so in about 45 minutes. And I know you guys are going to be drawing selfies with Danny. So I thought we could just get warmed up with a little 4-minute sketch of our quarantine essentials. So that is what I'm doing. And curious to see what everybody else deems as essential. That was one of my favorite parts when I go to the grocery, once a week, is seeing what other people deem as essential, in their carts. I passed a guy that had probably 20 bags of tortilla chips and a bunch of salsa, and that was it. Nothing else. So I knew what his essential items were, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, I think it really depends. JJ's saying her tennis shoes because she plays tennis and bowling on the Wii, the game system, which is awesome. I love that. Tennis shoes are very important. Also, they allow you to go on walks, which I know going on walks with our dogs has been something that we've been doing a lot of. Just trying to get outside, even if it's not quite warm spring yet, at least here. But yeah, just everyone has their own idea of the stuff that's really important. And for me today, I'm going with popcorn. So I think our timer is actually about to go off. So I'm going to have to finish this later because I did not get through the entire bag. There it is. But I hope this gave you just a moment to kind of focus and, settle down. I'm not as good at yammering and drawing and saying insightful things as Danny is, but I tried to just spend a few moments drawing this popcorn bag. It gives me a chance to kind of focus and recenter myself. And I hope all of you have that moment this morning or this afternoon, wherever you are. And I hope that you have an awesome and creative weekend doing more drawings. And it looks like Darren drew his pen, but the pack of beer that he bought is diminishing rapidly. I can feel you on that one. I think a lot of people are going through a lot more alcohol than they typically drink. So that is okay, Darren. I think you're in good company. A lot of the paper bag selfies that I saw involved drinks in hand. So I think that we're all on the same page. So thank you all for tuning in and joining me for this little brief update. And hopefully we'll see you at Danny's drawing party in about 45 minutes. And I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. Happy Friday and take care.